Live from WSA, this is a very special episode of Expensive Helm. Our guest today is Tom Colicchio. You guys know him. Last night I ate at Tom's restaurant, Craft, which is celebrating its 25th birthday this week. And afterward, I went home and I watched the season premiere of Top Chef, which is in its 23rd season and its 20th anniversary. That's all to say that Tom Colicchio has been doing this for a really long fucking time. He's been cooking professionally for over 50 years. He was one of the early evangelists of new American cuisine in New York City as the founding chef at the Gramercy Tavern and at his restaurant Craft, of course. He's America's chef, and we all know, love, and some of us even fear him as a judge on Top Chef. It was so fun hearing all of his stories about old New York when Gramercy was a dangerous neighborhood and you could open a major 5,000 square foot restaurant for just a few $1,000,000. We talked his past, but also his present and his future, and where to draw the line between being a judge and being a chef. I hope you guys enjoy. Cheers. Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
I was reading your GQ interview, and it got me nervous.
Okay.
It was like basically saying that you're scary.
Oh. No.
Are you scary, you think?
No, I don't think so. Was that the one on the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, that was bizarre.
It was just saying, it wasn't saying that you're scary. It was saying that you immediately have the urge to want to please you. That's such a cool, I wish that I evoked that from people.
It was really funny about that. The writer hasn't spent much time offshore on a boat, if any, and was expecting a very different experience. And so the first day we went out, it was pretty rough. But we were all like, everybody else that was on the boat is pretty experienced going offshore. So we were just like, yeah, it's rough, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And he was kind of freaking out, but because we weren't freaking out, he figured like this is normal. And then we came in, it was like, yeah, that was a really rough day. He goes, oh. I thought it was just me.
Yeah, I get really seasick. I only discovered this about myself a few years ago. I guess I've never been out on a boat until recently.
Yeah, getting seasick's not fun.
Yeah. So you're having a big week, right?
Okay,
I mean, it's the 25th anniversary of Craft.
25th anniversary of Craft, yeah.
20 years of Top Chef, too.
20 years of Top Chef.
It's crazy in 1 week.
Yeah, it's a good week.
Yeah, but you've been around for a long time.
Exactly. That's all that means. All that means is I'm old.
Yeah. How many years have you been cooking?
Almost 50.
50 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Can we start at the beginning? Not the full beginning. We have an hour. I wanted to talk to you about Jersey.
Okay.
Do you watch The Sopranos?
Sure.
Do you like The Sopranos?
I watched it twice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that real? Do you think that The Sopranos is like...
Some of it is, and some of it, I mean, one thing, it's funny because my mother talked about this. If we ever cursed at the dining room table, that would not go over at all. No way.
You didn't have a mom like Tony's mom, though.
No. My father wasn't a mobster either. But no, I mean, some of it is pretty accurate, I guess.
Yeah, because you're from Elizabeth, New Jersey, and they have the pork store there that everyone says is like the pork store that the Sopranos pork store is based on.
Well, no, the pilot, it was shot in Elizabeth. And Santani's, which is the pork store that we used to go to, was in it, and then they moved it out of there for some reason. I'm not sure why. And the funny thing is, I was actually asked to do the final scene in the restaurant. They were going to do it in one of my restaurants.
What?
And then they decided not to do a fancy restaurant. They wanted to do something a little more like
That would
they
have
called
been...
us like, absolutely, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then at the Emmys, their last year, so they did a big thing for them at the Emmys. And Matt Weiner, who also did Mad Men, he was one, and so I ran into him. And he's like, oh my God, we love the show, Top Chef. He said, listen, we're having our final party. Why don't you come? I was like, all right, great. Yeah. So I ended up, it was like all the cast of The Sopranos and like me and Gail. It was pretty wild. Yeah.
I guess on the topic, are you Don or are you Tony? Who would you say? What would your wife say?
Neither.
But being from New Jersey, something that I love about New Jersey is like all of the hot dog places. There's so many like amazing hot dog places in New Jersey.
In Elizabeth, we had two that we used to go to. There was Tommy's and there was Jerry's.
Are they related or not?
They're right next door to each other. No, they weren't related. And Jerry's was there longer, but Tommy's did like it was almost like a pita, like a half pita. There was like onions, peppers, and potatoes on the hot dog. And it was good. And the other one was more.
So you liked Jerry's.
I liked them both.
Yeah.
But Tommy's was probably better. Yeah.
And what was the name of the? I read your book. What was the name of that Italian restaurant that you were saying that you used to always go to growing up?
Spiritos.
Spiritos.
Yeah. And in fact, that's where they shot. Oh God, there was some movie came out like 2 years ago that was shot there because the restaurant closed.
Like a mob movie or just
no. It was based on a restaurant. It actually wasn't a very good movie.
Do you like food movies?
No, some.
Yeah. Do you like Ratatouille?
Ratatouille is fine. Yeah,
It's fine.
the one I didn't like was one that really got killed. What the hell was the name of that?
Oh yeah, The Menu.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like The Menu.
I thought it was terrible.
I write sometimes about restaurants, and if some of the restaurant critic people that I know love the movie. I hated it.
That was terrible.
Like the burger thing at the end is so heavy-handed.
was terrible.
Yeah, it's just like the whole thing is really overwrought.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So
Spiritos.
Oh yeah, Spiritos. Sorry, I got lost
Yeah,
for a second.
Spiritos. It was a neighborhood place. We used to go there mostly especially in the summer. My father was on a softball team, and so Fridays they would play at O'Brien Field, which is right a block away from Spiritos. So we would always go there. So Friday night was the night my mom had off, so we would go watch the softball game and then go have pizza. But we would only eat. There was two parts of that restaurant. There was the bar, and then there was the dining room. And when we were kids, we never went in the dining room. In fact, I didn't realize there was a dining room there until I was in high school. And after one of the basketball games, it was like, let's go to Spiritos. It's like, okay. And they were going in the side door. I'm like, where are you guys going? It's around the corner. I'm like, no, it's here. Like, no, I come here all the time. It's around the corner. And there was, so we only ate in the bar.
I can like smell the cigarette smoke in there. I bet that was pretty. But what was your order there?
We used to get veal cutlet. So it was fried, not veal parmesan, but veal cutlet, fried, and we used to order like an antipasta, and then with the veal cutlet, you got like a side of pasta. But we used to get like a salad with like, it had pepperoncini and artichokes and salami and cheese, like provolone. And
I love that kind of salad.
Yeah, it was just So that was it, and they had good pizza too.
Yeah. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So when did you move to? Were you going to New York all the time as a kid, or like what was New York like?
I started coming into New York when I was probably about 15, 16, somewhere in there. I mean, we used to jump on a train. It was 2 stops away.
Oh yeah.
And go to the Garden, see concerts, and
cool.
Or just go.
Were you eating at restaurants? Like what was like the cool restaurant in New York?
No, I wasn't back then. I didn't have money in restaurants in New York back then.
Yeah.
No, I think the first restaurant that I remember going to in New York, I took my girlfriend and we went to a restaurant called Pierre au Tunnel. And the only reason we went there is they always had to advertise in gourmet. It was like, I guess they're advertising gourmet. It's got to be pretty good. It was like an old school French restaurant. And I probably had like a pate or something and, chicken cordon.
What'd your girlfriend think?
Oh, it was fun. We had a good night out. Yeah.
That's fun. So you moved to New York in what year?
Probably like 88.
88.
88, 87, somewhere in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was New York like?
It was really different.
Yeah.
Back when I first started working in New York before I moved into the city, so this is back in like 84, a lot of the waiters in the restaurant, I was at a restaurant called Quill the Giraffe, they were like artists and stuff. They were all like squatting in Soho.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, all those buildings, they were just like empty and people were just like living in them. And, but no, New York was different. There was, I remember watching Keith Haring, like paint a mural.
Huh.
Like
Should have
down
stolen it.
on Clarkson and Carmine,
off the
down by
wall.
the school over there, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was the city was great. It was different. It was, it was affordable, much more affordable than it is now. And then, I was working in New York during the, when AIDS hit, and that really put a damper on everything.
Yeah.
Everybody was really scared.
Yeah.
The city was a little different then. It wasn't as built up. Times Square. I used to come through Times Square, and it was scary.
Yeah.
I've
heard all the stories.
Neon. Yeah,
like it's dangerous. Like running from your car.
Funniest thing. So I was going home one night. I had a Volkswagen Rabbit, and I'm driving home, and I'm going towards the Lincoln Tunnel, and there's traffic, and so I'm waiting, and this prostitute comes by in front of the car and comes around. It was summer. My window's down. Comes around and propositions me. And I'm like, nah, I'm going home. I get pulled over. And I get a ticket for solicitation. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I'm driving, I'm going home. It's like 12:30. I work in a restaurant. I'm driving home.
They're probably working with her.
Yeah, and so it was bizarre. I got a ticket. I was like, what the heck is solicitation? Come on.
You still on your record? Solicitation?
No.
Do you think that was a better time to be a young chef? Like, it's so hard to open a restaurant now.
Yeah, it was much better then. There were fewer restaurants, number one.
Yeah.
There was, it was very different. Like we were all, like I remember being competitive. Like I wanted to be the best cook in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I prided myself on being fast and organized, and we all were trying to work our way up. But I think just from a creative standpoint, back then, if you were creative, if you were a writer, actor, musician, you could live in the city. And,
it's crazy.
And now it's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know how a young person who's creative comes here and lives.
Yeah, it's like impossible.
Yeah,
You just have rich parents is basically the...
Yeah. But, or you're like 6 to an apartment in, Queens somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of cooks do.
Yeah.
I hear stories of the cooks. If you're rooming with someone who has a morning shift or an afternoon shift and night shift, you share the bed. One person's in.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Someone should organize that.
But
the restaurant should.
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed quite a bit. Although when I was cooking, I didn't live in the city. I lived out. I was living in East Orange.
Really?
Which was a pretty easy commute. Yeah.
Huh. I guess that's like not a bad. It's just like a few.
No, it was near Upsala College. It was actually a beautiful apartment, but it was like a 30-minute ride. And back then I was driving a motorcycle, so I would get in and out pretty quickly.
Oh wow, bad boy.
Yeah, but it was different. Definitely different.
I feel like I want to hear more about the Quilted Giraffe. Like, it's such a legendary restaurant. They don't make restaurants like that anymore.
No, this was the old one, the one that was on 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, looks so cool.
It was a great experience. Number one, we were only open Monday through Friday.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we were closed Saturday and Sunday.
What is the logic behind that?
He only wanted to open 5 days a week, and we did 120 to 124 covers every night. Didn't matter. So he was like, I'm going to close 2 nights. Doesn't matter what nights I close.
Amazing.
And
it must have been cool for you.
And he wanted he had a farm up in New Paltz, and he would go on Friday night. And so the restaurant was open Monday through Friday. Dinner only. It was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of people were going there?
Oh, Warren Beatty and Jackie Manassas and
Jackie O?
Yeah, she'd been there. She was going. It was, I mean, every night was a party there. It was
legendary.
Yeah, it really was. And back then, I mean, they had like probably $70 check average back then.
What?
In the 80s, yeah, it was expensive.
I wonder what the inflation calculator would tell me that is. $170.
Yeah, it was expensive. They had a great
for one person or 2 people?
One.
For one person?
Yeah, back then. Yeah, it was an expensive restaurant. It was always
like $600, $700 probably.
Yeah, it was a good restaurant. It was interesting too because everything was pretty unorthodox compared to other restaurants because Barry wasn't really a chef. He was an attorney. He was a lawyer, and then decided to open a restaurant in New Paltz, and then moved down to New York. So it was. It wasn't like a traditional kitchen, but I really enjoyed working there, and to this day I'm still friendly with Barry.
How much do you get paid back then?
Probably like $600 a week or something like that.
That's good.
I don't know. I don't remember. But Barry also, if we had a good week, he didn't do it. I thought it was everyone who got it, but not everybody. He would, on a Friday night, just like hand me cash. So here you go.
He sounds like the coolest guy.
He was a little quirky, but yeah.
You get Saturday and Sunday off?
Saturday and Sunday off, yeah.
That's crazy for a restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know what I was making back then. It probably came out to like $30,000 a year, whatever it was.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's a lot. That's really good.
I think it was. I was a sous chef. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
And this was before or after Keller? Before or after you worked for Thomas Keller? Before.
Yeah.
So, and then you went to France for a while?
Yeah, 2 different times. I was in France, yeah. After Quilted, I ended up going back to New Jersey and working at a restaurant called 40 Main Street. I worked there as a cook, and I went back as a chef.
Yeah.
And then from there, I did a stage, and I came back, and then ended up working worked for Keller at Raquel, And then after that, I ended up going down to Virginia Beach to help a friend of mine out for about 6 months, 8 and 9 months. And then I came back and took a job at Mondrian. And then I left, went to France, and then came back as a chef.
What really struck me in the book, and I had never even really considered, is just like how available ingredients are now. Like you were talking about going to France and just seeing like this abundance. It's still when you go to France or go to Europe, you feel that way. But like to think that the farmer's market wasn't always a given even.
Yeah, actually the farmer's market back then was better.
Really?
Yeah, because the farmers would grow stuff for you. And then they stopped because a lot of chefs would say, oh, grow stuff and I'll buy it. And they'd grow it and the chef didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And so I thought there was much more interesting stuff back then.
That's so cool.
20 years ago. And now the farmers, they grow what they know they're going to sell.
Yeah.
And it's more for the consumer.
Yeah. I guess there must have been more small farms back then.
No, same amount of farms.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. A lot of the farms are still there. But, you get a lot of these people that say they use farms and they go there and they leave with 2 bags.
Yeah,
it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to pull up back then, like way back when I was at Mondrian, I used to drive my truck right into the market.
Like through the crowd.
Just park, no, not through the crowd. No,
I
I would
was
just
kidding.
pull up next to one of the farm stands, come up over the curb. And no one cared.
That's cool.
Now they'd arrest you for that. Yeah.
So I guess when you're open Gramercy, that must have been like so cool to be so close to the farmer's market.
Yeah.
I guess this is another question that's hard to answer, but how much did it cost? What year was Gramercy? Gramercy was
94.
94. Like how much did it cost to open a restaurant?
About $3 million to build.
Yeah, that's like an institution, like a huge restaurant. Like how many square feet is it?
It was 5,000 up, 5,000 down.
Yeah, so that's
So the
cheap.
basement wasn't finished. The basement was offices and a prep kitchen and storage and our wine cellar. So really the only finished part was the upstairs. And upstairs, of the 5,000 feet upstairs, probably about 800 to 900 feet was a kitchen upstairs. And then the rest was dining room and the bar.
Do you feel like when you're coming up, were there many people who like were kids and they wanted to be chefs?
No.
Yeah. Like I see it's so much more professionalized, like especially I see it through Top Chef. I guess Top Chef probably encourages a lot of people.
Well, I think yeah, that food, food TV definitely encouraged a lot of people. And, no, back then, I mean, you still had a lot of people graduating from culinary school.
Yeah.
And you had the CIA and you had Johnson & Wales and then Peter Kumpf, which turned into ICE, and French Culinary Institute, was around. So I kind of got lucky because right around the time when I decided I wanted to start cooking, that's when American food really took off. And so it was a great time to be there.
Yeah. You're like one of the evangelists of new American cuisine.
Yeah, it wasn't as saturated. There were fewer restaurants, fewer chefs that you had to keep track of. It was easier. Rents were lower. I mean, when we opened Gramercy Tavern, our rent was $9,000 a month for that space. Yeah.
That's part in the book that really struck me is you saying that neighborhood used to be dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Like what? I can't comprehend that.
So on the corner of Broadway and 16th, north of the farmers market, there was a club on the corner, and someone got killed one night.
What?
Right in front of the club. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, got shot and killed right in front of the club. Yeah, it wasn't the best of neighborhoods. In fact, when I looked at that space at Gramercy, the whole front was boarded up with graffiti across the whole front, and yeah, it was
Were people telling you were crazy to open over there?
Yeah, it was a little seedy. It was a little seedy back then.
I guess something that I wanted to talk to you about, like that I know is something that I hear you talk about it a lot, is actually just like restaurant culture and like how it can be toxic and how there's like. I don't know. It's like I've been seeing all this stuff about the Noma pop up recently, and all of these like accusations of abuse in the Noma kitchen. And I used to work at a restaurant. It was like it is pretty brutal sometimes. Like I'd have burns all over my arms and like
you burn yourself. That's your problem. That's
it
the
is
chef's
my
problem.
Yeah. But the chef's like carry like 6 plates that are like, and they heat them up so hot.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, I never worked in a kitchen that I thought was abusive. Yeah, the chef would yell at you. The chef would give you a hard time.
Nice.
But it wasn't like I never got hit. I never saw anybody get hit.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't stand for that. If I got hit, I think I would have hit somebody back.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm not going to say it didn't happen.
Yeah,
but
of course not.
looking at Noma, It's one thing. I mean, to be the best in the world, you have to really be driven.
Yeah.
And it's okay to push yourself, but you can't. So it's like I quite like if you're an athlete, right? You push yourself. You beat the hell out of yourself.
Yeah.
It's especially if you're like an Olympic athlete or something like that. You're doing. If you're a swimmer, you're working out. In the morning, then you're doing weights in the afternoon. You have another session at nighttime. You're killing yourself. That's yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself through that.
Yeah.
You can't. If you're in a restaurant and you want to push yourself that hard, and there's you need a team of people, you can't expect that someone's going to have that as much drive as you.
Yeah.
And if you think they do, well, then you're kidding yourself. And to beat up on people, physically hit someone is just it's so out of control.
It's like, is the juice really worth the squeeze? It's
No.
Food is my big passion, but I can't the restaurant being like, it's probably like minutely better. Like
I don't think it's worth it. And I think what really happens is like the whole culture of stars and getting stars and our being on the top 50 list.
Yeah.
If that's the reason why you're doing everything, then maybe you should really rethink why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But again, to physically hit someone, that's just.
I feel like these types of stories have come up like a number of times, but there's never been a real reckoning.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. People maybe might not go to the restaurant.
You saw that
rather eat the food.
The LA pop-up, $1,500 a person sold out
in 3 seconds. Yeah.
So clearly.
Yeah, I know. So no one cares, or I don't know. It's so. I don't know. I guess people.
There's two things though.
Yeah.
Because looking at this whole idea that stage is that you're taking advantage of people. No, you're not. No, you're not. We don't do it in New York because it's against the law. You have to pay people.
Yeah.
But I staged in France.
Yeah.
And this whole idea that you have to be wealthy to do that, and so you're privileged. I wasn't wealthy.
Yeah.
I got myself a $99 flight on People's Express to go to France. I actually went to Brussels and then took a train to the restaurant into France. I saved up money to go.
Yeah.
And so that's a choice you make.
Like going to school.
Exactly. It's a choice you make. Yeah. And in fact, it's I would rather see an apprentice, like in a real apprentice program where people can come in and work, because I think if you did a 2-year apprenticeship program in a couple of really good restaurants, you would know a whole lot more than coming out of a culinary school, where you're paying for that privilege versus working for free. I mean, I think that's a pretty easy equation.
But what if your job is the person that picks the petals off of the flower to?
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that's not an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
To do it, you'd really have to have it where people are working. They're put through a system where they're working in prep, then they're working at Garde Manger, then they're on the line. Yeah. And if you did it in a few different restaurants, if you worked in, 1 year in one restaurant, if you worked a year at Kraft and a year at Le Bernardin, you'd know a whole lot more in 2 years than you would come out of culinary school.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'd ever have a set apprenticeship program, like real apprenticeship program.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I would think that a place like Noma would have more of a way to be nurturing to young chefs. That's the thing that's almost most shocking to me, is that it's not more streamlined into making everybody.
There's stages and stages. Like I know, like you didn't hear this from Ferran at all.
Oh yeah, I know.
And he was driven too.
Yeah.
But also you had to work the season there.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays, you see people, I stage at Noma, and you look at their resume, they work there for a week. It's not a stage.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone is like, ex-Noma chef, and it's like, when did you work there? Like 6 months?
No, that's not.
Yeah.
But some of them, though, would go back and, work for years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the disconnect that I have with that is I've been to Noma.
Yeah.
Everyone was so happy.
Yeah.
Like the entire staff. Yeah. I did a kitchen tour. Everyone was happy.
Yeah.
So it's really weird.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's just it's strange.
Yeah. I mean, you go to a restaurant and everyone seems happy.
Yeah. But I also think that if if you're getting to the point where you're so frustrated you're going to hit someone, go take a walk around the block or something.
It's not worth it for your little brunoise, whatever,
It's not. It's food, damn it.
Yeah.
But I tell everybody when we open a restaurant, that no one dies on the operating table here. It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? How bad could it be?
Yeah.
Bad service? Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Not going to die.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you keep that from happening in your restaurants? Or I guess you must keep a close eye on your hiring and.
Yeah, you do. Listen, when we made some changes at Kraft, starting in June, we changed the menu from family style to plated, and it was a big challenge for the kitchen and the staff at the time. They were all pretty green. I had a lot of people leave, so it was tough. And did I raise my voice? Absolutely, I did.
Yeah.
Was it demanding? Yeah, but it was never personal.
Yeah.
It was only about the food, but it wasn't ever abusive.
Yeah.
It was, sometimes you got to get your point across and a little forceful, but again, it never was, to the point where you get in someone's face.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, and there are times I find myself saying, I gotta go for a.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take a walk.
I gotta get out of here right now. Yeah, but I don't know. It's.
I had a Kraft last night.
Oh, did you?
I had a great meal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Jose, he's my server. He was amazing. One of the best servers I've had
it's a good team there.
Recent memory. Yeah, I was very impressed with the service.
Yeah,
the food was great.
Yeah.
I love the room. Kraft was actually the first restaurant, like the first fancy restaurant that I went to in New York.
Oh.
I remember saving up in probably 2008 to go to brunch. I remember it was
brunch.
Was it
Kraft Bar probably?
Oh, probably Kraft Bar.
The original Kraft Bar was next door where Velada is now.
Kraft Bar. And it was a big deal for me. I was 19 years old and I didn't have a job.
We did a brunch on there, but not at Kraft. Kraft was only, we tried doing lunch a couple times there, but the format never worked. Family style never really worked for lunch. To me, design-wise, that's, we won an AIA for that. The architect did.
Yeah.
And it held up and it looks great. And
I was impressed with how it looked.
Yeah, and we haven't really changed much at all.
Yeah. So many restaurants love to be minimal now, but it's so nice to have felt very dynamic. Something I noticed about the design of it that I thought was interesting is that you can't see the kitchen.
Kitchen's in the basement.
Yeah, because I feel like every restaurant now, even if it's not an open kitchen restaurant, it's always a feature of the restaurant to see. You get a little peek of a white coat or something.
Yeah, no, we're the kitchen's in the basement.
Yeah,
so it's really.
You have to go up the stairs with the food.
Down, yeah, run it upstairs. Gotham was the same way.
Ah, wow.
It was interesting when I first looked at the space, and I looked at the space next door at the same time, and the space where Velada is now was a kitchen for a catering company.
Oh, cool.
And so originally I was going to put the kitchen there for the whole restaurant. And then the dining room would have been, the restrooms would have been downstairs in the basement with one handicap accessible restroom upstairs.
Yeah.
So we would have had more seats. And then the kitchen would have been right on the same level. And then downstairs was going to, I could have put a private dining room downstairs. And I couldn't get the leases to match up. And so we ended up doing the construction for Kraft. And about a year later, we took that space.
I thought it was cool to have the kitchen somewhere else. It made it feel more like magic or something. You're in this space and you're just enjoying the space, enjoying the ambience, enjoying your company, and then the food comes to you. It's not I don't want to. Sometimes you don't want to see the sausage be made.
Yeah, you don't need to see it. No, not every kitchen needs to be an open kitchen, and we have an open kitchen at Velada, which is actually very open. But design-wise, when we did Kraft. Peter Bentel, who was the architect, he and I talked a lot about the food, about the food, how it was served, and how everything was really minimal. And so we wanted to follow that. And so what we did is we tried to do a restaurant that would have 0 painted finishes.
Oh, that's so interesting.
It was expensive.
Yeah, I did love the leather wall, the textures of everything.
Yeah. And that was all by design. The leather wall was, had two functions. One was to try to link the front because there was narrow space, link the front and back. And it was also inspired by Richard Serra.
Oh, I see that, the curved,
But I wanted all natural materials, so it's a lot of wood.
What's the ceiling?
The seal is made of something called tectum.
I thought it looked very cool.
It's soundproof.
Oh, yeah.
But it's soundproofing.
It's like it's nice, like brutalist.
And we just put the copper washers up there, and we were the first. I think the first restaurant to have the Edison bulbs.
I was going to talk to you about inventing Edison bulbs.
Well, part of it was because I had this whole idea where I wanted to see how things worked, and so if there was no moldings, I wanted to see where a wall hit the floor, and we wanted to see.
Well, it's called craft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. Like design wanted to follow the whole concept of the restaurant, but we wanted steel, we wanted bronze, and wood, leather. Again, all natural materials. We had to paint a few walls. It's just finishing, using like leather on all the surfaces just got expensive. Yeah, but it's holding up nicely.
Made me feel like every restaurant's just so sparse, or they should try a little harder or something to give vibes. But I like the food to speak. But I thought it was a very beautiful room that holds up.
Yeah.
It's 25 years old.
25 years old next week.
Wow. How are you celebrating a birthday?
We're doing a party,
Yeah.
and it's mostly for people who worked there in the past. Like a lot of the chefs who worked with me are coming in. Some of the old servers, some of the managers, stuff like that. A few regulars are invited, friends, but it's really just a party to celebrate the people who spent.
I think I'll be there on Monday.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. It's gonna be fun.
Guess what my favorite dish was?
Well, I don't know what you had.
What?
I don't know what you had. So
I'll tell you what I got, and then you can guess what was my favorite. We had the beet cured salmon. We had the bitter green salad.
Mm-hmm.
We had the agnolotti.
Mm-hmm.
We had octopus.
Mm-hmm.
We had short rib, and we had monkfish,
Mm-hmm.
and then the chocolate. What was it? The chocolate dessert.
I'd say octopus.
Yes, you got it.
It's good, isn't it?
I loved the octopus.
Yeah.
I wasn't initially going to order it because sometimes I've just been burned by octopus so many times.
Yeah, I like that. I like that dish. That sauce.
What is it? I was trying to figure it out.
It's hard to make that. So that is a fish fumet, but it's all red wine and a little bit of veal stock. But the way you make it is you bring it up to a simmer, and typically you skim, stocks.
Yeah.
You never skim it. And it almost forms like a raft, almost like a consommé. And so the sauce gets pretty clear, but it's really, really intense, and it takes about 16 hours to make, just to make the stock.
Wow.
And then you reduce it while it's still on the bones, and then we just roast the.
I can't make it
octopus.
at home.
No, it's hard to make. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I were like really just, we were using it as an excuse to just eat more of the sauce with our fingers, but
it's good.
We were really trying to unpack, what's the chili in there?
So we make chili crisp.
The spice is it lingers in such a nice way.
Yeah, it's just chilies that we use, chilies and garlic and shallots. And I like that. It's a good dish.
So can we talk about Top Chef?
Sure.
20 years. It's crazy.
23 seasons.
Did you imagine yourself as a TV guy?
No.
Like, what was it like when you first started?
Well, the first time I did TV
Yeah.
was 1991. I had just won Food and Wine Best New Chef, and the Regis and Kathy Lee show. And they reached out to actually Food and Wine, and Food and Wine called me and said, "Do you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I got there on a Friday, and I had a dish that I was doing, and the dish that I did was a braised red snapper. The snapper was braised in rosemary lemon vinaigrette. There were roasted red peppers, and then there was eggplant caviar that I sandwiched between layers of fried eggplant.
Yeah.
So like discs of eggplant that were fried. And so I brought the dish, everything ready, and was with the producer, and I did a run through, and she said, "Okay, you'll be fine." So on the way out, these two guys that were there, stagehands, I said, "What time should I come on Monday?" "I'll get here at 8 o'clock. Okay. So I get there at 8 o'clock. The producer just starts yelling at me. "Where were you? You missed rehearsal." And it's like, they told me to come at 8 o'clock. You're going to screw this up. And back then, you set yourself up.
Yeah.
And so I get there, and I have my
Were you
table.
cooking live?
Well, eventually, yes.
Yeah,
But So right now, I'm just setting everything up and getting my dishes, getting everything out. I have all my swaps ready to go. And every 5 minutes, the producer would come by and go, "You're going to screw this up. I should pull the segment. I can't believe it." And just wouldn't. I was freaking out. So start the segment. Regis comes over. We start the segment. I cut the eggplant in half, score it, put it in the oven. And I had one underneath. So he's messing with the oven. And he's like, you got to turn the oven on. I'm like, nah, it's okay. Got to come over here. And he goes, no, but the oven's got to go on. I'm like, don't worry. And so I take it out and he goes, he said, well, I guess that's what happens when you miss rehearsal. And I'm like, I can't believe this guy just threw me under the bus. I'm sitting here doing this cooking thing. Anyway, it goes without a hitch. It just nailed it.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking, like, this guy, I can't believe he said that. So the segment ends. He goes over there. Producer comes over. She goes, that was amazing. That was great. She said, anytime you want to come back, let us know. That was fantastic. And I looked at her. I said, why did he throw me under the bus like that? Like, so I missed rehearsal. She goes, no, he missed rehearsal. So I looked at her, and she said, anytime you want to come back, I looked at her. I said, I will never do TV again. This was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. And so, obviously I've done TV since. But no, Top Chef, they called me out of the blue. A producer called me out of the blue and asked me if I, said, we're doing the show and we think you make a great, head judge. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And then she called back and said, well, we think you'd be great. Can we just get you on camera? Fine. So someone came with a camcorder and sat down, asked me some questions. 2 days later, I got a call and they said, can you come to LA for a screen test? I said, no, I really don't want to do this. And I said, but here's what I'll do. There was a documentary made on the opening of Kraft. So I sent that to them.
Yeah.
And they called back. They said, we want to make an offer. I was like, all right. So my calculation, because everyone told me not to do it. My wife was like, don't do it. My cousin, who's my attorney.
Was there any other food reality show before that?
There was a show, but it wasn't a competition show.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
The chef did not.
It's like a bleak time for reality.
The chef did not come off looking good, so I didn't want to do it. And my calculation was, I'd go to a food festival and I'm signing books.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting next to Bobby Flay. He signs 200. I sign 20. I don't think it was he had a better book.
Yeah.
He was on TV.
Yeah,
so I was like, you know what? Let me give this thing a shot. And they sent me a bunch of DVDs, not even DVDs, tapes. Yeah. What were they called?
VHS.
VHS. Yeah, there you go.
Ancient technology.
And of Project Runway.
I loved Project. That's why I moved to New York.
And we also watched Project Greenlight.
What was Project Greenlight?
It was really interesting. It was actually Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah, when he made it was like they were making someone to direct a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we watched that, and my wife and I just sat there and binged it over a weekend. It was like, all right, and so I agreed to do it.
You're like, is it going to be called Project Food? It's like
no, they
Project
told me
Greenlight, Project Runway.
They told me it was called Top Chef, and then when I agreed to do it, our first season was in San Francisco, and we had no idea what we were doing, but kind of worked out.
Do you know who else they were thinking about?
No.
They never told you?
I know, yeah.
Huh.
No.
So curious who else, but this alternate world that it could have happened.
I don't know. I guess I could find out. But yeah, and so that was kind of eye-opening doing production.
Yeah. Was the first season tough?
It wasn't that it was tough. Well, it was a little funny. So the first season, one of the chefs who was the first to go was just off his meds or something. It was out of control, really out of control.
Yeah.
Where I was sitting there, it was really weird and uncomfortable.
Where was the first season?
San Francisco.
Okay, I'm trying to remember.
We were at the restaurant Fleur de Lis, and we're in like this hallway area, and they were shooting us, and the chefs were like standing right there, and we're standing here, and they cut for a second, and the makeup person came over and the guy goes, "Hey, I put some hair on his head while you're at it." And I looked at this guy, what's wrong with this guy? And then,
that's a funny thing to say.
And then it got really ugly, and then it was bizarre because back then we used to do Hype Fest. Where they shot all the promos and the commercials and stuff and the opening.
Yeah.
They had us all together. They didn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And he literally grabbed a flat of eggs and cracked it over someo's head.
What?
And I threw him out. I was like, you got to go. I walked him out.
I've watched Top Chef change so much. It used to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to like all of these like unhinged sous chefs and stuff that would come on.
Yeah.
Like, what's the guy? I liked that guy that would never do quick fires.
Oh, Michael Midgley?
Yeah, I liked him. I loved when what's his name, Leia and Jose kissed. That was
right. Forgot about that. Yeah,
Fabio. I liked the Like now, now it's serious. Now everyone is like actually
It was serious back then, but I
Yeah.
think back then because now the contestants who come on, they grew up watching the show.
Yeah, yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
I'm not going to be that asshole. Like, I
Yeah,
can't be
yeah,
that guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The asshole never
But
wins. It's
also,
the serious person that
I
wins.
think the industry's changed too.
Yeah. Do you think it's that Top Chef is a reflection of the industry? Or do you feel like it goes the other way?
No, I think it's a reflection. I think it kind of happens at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think that Top Chef actually, could change the culture in restaurants, but I think kind of happened together. Yeah. But it's definitely changed for the better. I mean, we were really trying hard to push all of the reality stuff out of the way and spend more time on the food.
Yeah.
And it seemed that the viewers, I think, like it better too. I mean, people are telling me they prefer what we do now.
Yeah. I mean, everyone is like, I actually want to eat their food.
Yeah.
It was kind of a wild time when it was like the molecular gastronomy time.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch those seasons now.
Well, the funny thing about it is that like Marcel had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah.
No
I know.
idea.
You could tell.
And it was just like, you just like talk about it. It was like no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it was fun back then though. You didn't know what to expect. Now it's a little more controlled. I would say.
Yeah. I liked how wild it was, but now it's like actually like I care about food, and I'm not watching a reality show. I'm watching about trying to learn about.
Yeah, there's a lot less reality.
And it's so cool to see it does reflect the culture and food. Like seeing, I can't remember what season. There's like a season where everyone's making regional Italian cuisine, and then now it's cool. You have more like Caribbean and African cuisines, and more like Southeast Asian cuisines, and you can see how different cuisines are popular and go in and out of style.
Yeah, I mean, you've almost never seen anybody like make French stuff, dishes at all. Which is interesting because it's really hard to judge something like that next to Southeast Asian cuisine, and we talk about it too.
Yeah,
because it's very easy to be seduced with high acid, high sugar. Fat.
Yeah,
and so. And spice.
Yeah.
If you hit all those four things, it creates a very round sensation in your mouth, and so you got to be careful not to be seduced by that.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with all the time. Where I'm like, do I like this, or is it just like trying to like separate how I think about acid from? I'm always like, maybe it doesn't need. I don't know. People love like such high acidity salads. Everything's like has to be like a.
Yeah, but think about like French cuisine. That's why wine usually works for that because if you
cuts the fat and
the acid doesn't have to be in the dish so much, but wine can add the acidity.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just got to be That's why when I judge, the first thing I'm looking for are the things that are less subjective. Is something cooked properly? Is something seasoned properly? Then you can look at the challenge. Then you can look at balance. You can look at not only balance and flavors, balance of the items that are actually on the plate. Is everything cooked properly?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times you focus on the protein. You don't focus on everything else.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times the chefs make it hard on themselves. They make dishes that are too complicated.
You.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, they're trying to impress us, but you should, you pick and choose the times to do that.
Something I always wonder about the show is like, and I guess about being a chef in general, is like how much of being a chef is like doing festival stuff like that. I feel like a lot of the episodes are like they're making food for like a big group, like a big thing when people are going around and tasting. Do you do that all the time?
Not all the time, but we do it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anytime it's an event, if there's a fundraiser or something like that, it's a walk around event.
Yeah.
The hard part is they're by themselves.
Yeah.
Where I do a walk around, I do an event like that. I've 3 sous chefs with me. But no, that's legit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think our challenges are really good, and the producers that work on the challenges, I think they do a great job because we don't do silly stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff is based on, regional, food customs. And,
It's so cool now seeing like you doing like the Native American stuff and like I don't know, it's important to see that kind of.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think the producers do a great job, and it's not like silly stuff like here's a basket and there's celery root, blue cheese, and a jelly bean. Like that to me is just silly, and it doesn't necessarily show that you're a better chef because you could figure out how to put a jelly bean in a dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yesterday when I was at the restaurant, I just couldn't help but think about restaurant wars. Like, do you feel like as someone that's a professional restaurant judge, like, can you not turn it off when you go to a restaurant? Like when you eat at someone else's restaurant,
easy.
You turn it off.
Oh yeah, easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. If I'm going out, I'm going out to enjoy myself. I learned a long time ago when I was in my 20s. Like if I go there and I'm with a date and I'm really critical, it ruins their night.
Yeah.
And so no, I eat. I don't. I almost never even discuss the dishes I'm eating. I just eat.
That's so funny. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's your job.
Yeah.
And you did it before, and you'll do it after.
On the show, it's my job, and that's But no, if I go out, I'm out to enjoy myself.
So, what's next for Tom?
What's next? Retirement?
Will you retire?
Eventually, yeah.
That's like what are you doing in retirement?
What would I do?
Yeah, fish. I guess that's the classic thing. You love to fish.
I fish as much as I can. Fish, garden, play guitar, read more. I find plenty of stuff to do.
You ever Googled yourself?
Yeah, not recently, but
funny. Like the first results, it's like Tom with hair. Yeah. When was the last time you had hair?
If I let it grow out, I'd have hair now.
Yeah, but like, when was the last time you wore hair?
I don't know. When the show started.
You had hair at the first season?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
I think so. It was very thin though, but so probably 20 years, probably 24, 25
And you're
years.
like blessed to be able to.
Oh, maybe 30 years ago.
I would look so bad if I shaved my head.
I don't remember. What's next? I don't know. I am working on a project. I'm not sure it's going to happen yet, so it could happen. Up in the Hudson Valley, looking at something up there. I'm looking, I may kicking around the idea of really just, after 25 years, craft is like, definitely slowed down. We didn't have a very good year. I'm thinking maybe changing it, the whole thing.
Wait, why did you? Okay, this is something I meant to ask earlier, but so you changed, like the whole vision for craft was family style, and then just recently you changed it to not family style. Why did you decide to do that?
So we had noticed that after the pandemic, a lot of people weren't sharing as much, and if you looked at our menu, like a duck dish was $72, but it was for 2 to 3 people.
Yeah,
and I remember I got into a on social media a discussion about congestion pricing, and I think I mentioned that it's just going to cost more money because we're going to get charged. Our suppliers are going to charge us now for that. And someone said, "Oh, you charge $72 for a duck? How dare you?" I was like, and I thought about this. I was like, well, it's for 2 to 3 people.
Yeah.
But how would they know that if they just looked at the menu?
Yeah.
And I just thought we were, if people were just kind of looking at menus and trying to decide where they're going, if they look at our menu, they'd think it was like way overpriced.
Yeah.
And again, we noticed that we'd serve a 16-ounce pork chop, and the person would take it from the center table and put it in front of them and eat it. And so we just decided to make some changes.
Yeah.
And it made sense at the time. And I like what we're doing. Listen, craft was always about sourcing great ingredients and treating them. Right?
Yeah.
And we still do that.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed. And we still have a few dishes that are for the table. Like you can still
the lamb and the
beef, and then we'll probably add some more stuff in the spring. But so it was just a decision to make some changes.
Yeah.
But there were times I'm thinking about maybe making some bigger changes in the dining room design wise, and but not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the biggest fish you ever caught?
Probably like a 250-pound marlin, maybe.
That's huge.
That's small for marlin.
You eat it?
I've been on a boat. No. I've been on a boat where I've seen 550-pound marlin come over, but I wasn't on the rod.
You're catching tunas too, right?
Yeah, we catch tuna.
Do you eat the tunas?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, marlin you can't keep.
I didn't know that.
They're game fish. You shouldn't kill them.
Yeah.
If they die, then you keep it.
Yeah.
Because they can die.
Yeah.
But, tuna. But tuna I'll keep. If we're out fishing, I'll keep 1 or 2. And never freeze it. What I'll usually do is portion it, bag it, and put it in a cooler on my front porch and call my friends and say, "There's tuna on the front porch. Come pick it up." Yeah.
So that's going to be your retirement, just dropping off tuna at everyone's house.
Yeah, just come and get it. But yeah, I keep in. I will keep 1 or 2. But if we catch 20 fish, I'm not keeping 20 tuna.
So at the end of the podcast, I do this thing. I guess I should have told you, but it's just basically we shout out 2 things that we like. I'll start, and then so you get the idea, and then you can do it. So I was gonna shout out Jose, the server, but I already talked about him. So I'll shout out my friend Ella Quittner. She just came out with her book, Obsessed with the Best. It's a cookbook. It's amazing. It's like it's really beautiful. Her whole thing is she like went around the world to like create the best recipes of all these different categories, like the best chocolate chip cookies or a thing, and she makes it in like 1 million different ways, and then makes like a grid of them in a photo, and it looks so cool. Okay. And the recipes, it's cool because they're really nice, in that some of them are actually like project recipes where you're actually making like the very, very best version that's like a little bit complicated, and then some of them are like, here's a little hack to make this simple thing a little bit better. Okay. I made her, like she did like a take on Marcella Hazan's the tomato butter sauce. It's classic, but she did like one where you sear the onion in butter and you let it brown a little bit first, and then you flip them over. I don't know. It's a nice step, and cookbook's beautiful. So that's my first one.
Cool. Shout out. Okay, this is a little. I'm very surprised if any of your people know this one. So there's a small guitar maker in Vermont called Froggy Bottom.
Froggy Bottom
Guitars, and they make about 100 guitars a year. And the guy Michael Millard, who was the founder and the guy who made all the guitars, he is retiring, and he sold the company. The people who run it are still going to run it, but he's retiring, and he's making 12 guitars before he retires.
Whoa, you're getting one?
I'm getting one. So I'm really psyched.
What's it, acoustic or electric?
Acoustic, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very small body guitar.
When do you get it?
I'll probably get it in probably another month, maybe.
What's the first song you're going to play?
I have no idea.
You need to figure that out.
No. Yeah. No. But I'm looking forward to that.
That's sick.
Yeah,
one of the last 10 guitars.
It's one of the last 12 that he's making, and he's making them himself. They small production.
That's such a cool way to go out. You're just like, that's the end.
Their guitars are really, really sweet. So that's my big shout out.
Wow, nice. Yeah. My second one is friend of the podcast, Eddie Wong. He's opening.
Yeah, he's opening a new
Bauhaus, reopening Bauhaus. I'm going today for dinner. I'm excited.
Tonight's I got invited. And
going
I'm probably not going to go because my back is too fucked up to go anywhere.
I'll tell him you send your regards. But yeah, I'm excited. It's cool. There's like a full menu. I'm so excited to try.
Good,
like smapo tofu. And
I like Eddie. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting character.
Awesome.
Yeah. So second one, I don't know. Second shout out. My big shout out is spring. I can't wait for it. I'm so tired of winter right now. So let's go.
It's about to be spring next week.
That's what I hear.
70 degrees on Wednesday.
Traveling next week. Yeah, but I live for the summer. So we're getting closer. So spring is the shout out.
That's a good shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
Nice. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This was a pleasure.
Sure. Thanks.
Expense Account is a production of Feed Me in partnership with Public Sound and Substack. Our executive producers are Emily Sundberg, Jason Gauntlet, and Ryan Woodhall. Our associate producer is Cami Fateh. Our audio engineer is Luke Moldoff. Our video editor is Izzy Cross, and our graphic designer is Justin Sloan. Expense Account is recorded at WSA NYC. For more episodes, visit us at feedme.substack.com. See you next week.